Okay, on a day like today, it's important to put things into perspective. That is why we are so happy to be able to do this now with historian Jon Meacham. Jon, good morning. It's good to see you. Half of the country woke up this morning joyful, elated. Half of the country was despondent. If this were one of your beautiful books and you were to write the title of it, this chapter in American history, what would you call it?
Well, this is the age of Trump. And it's a little like Arthur Schlesinger wrote about the age of Roosevelt and the age of Jackson. And it's unquestionable that he is the dominant political force of the last decade. And what I would say to the 49% or so of folks who woke up thinking that this is a dark day, that this is now a test. It's now a test of citizenship. You cannot be for democracy only when you win. And a lot of us who have preached this sermon about the importance of constitutional mechanisms, about a democratic lowercase d ethos, have to practice that. And I'm pleased to see that it seems to me that people are, in fact, following the norms. To the 51% who woke up, pleased that their vote had prevailed, I would say this. A lot of folks, we've talked about it, and I have consistently made the case that I worry that President Trump, the former and future President Trump, represents, by his actions and his words, a threat to the constitutional order that we are accustomed to. The test now is to prove us wrong. And I say what I'm about to say very advisedly. I pray that I have been wrong. And the only way to find out is to watch what unfolds and hope that what President Trump has said on the campaign trail and what he tried to do at the end of the 2020 elections, that those are the exceptions and not the rule. And the jury is out on that.
Professor Meacham, you know, I read everything you write, and you wrote something that came out on Election Day. There was that op-ed in the New York Times, and you just sort of alluded to the thesis there. But for folks who have not read it, you wrote in part, no similar figure in American history has ever had such a strong grip on so many. A second Trump presidency is an open invitation to chaos. It sounds like you still very much feel that way this morning. Is that a fair assessment?
It absolutely is, Craig. And I think that where we find ourselves, and I don't think this is a particularly radical thing to say, people who voted for Donald Trump are apparently comfortable with the threat of chaos. And that may be fine. Again, their vote counts as much, or in some states more than mine. This is not an attempt to undermine the decision that so many people made. What it is coming from someone who's not a partisan. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I have voted for presidents of both parties. So this is just coming from spending a lot of time thinking about dead people, which is what I do for a living. They like me more than living people, which is good. And so what comes out of that study, what comes out of that work, now several decades of it, is the sense that the system matters. And the system has not proven to be commensurate to, it hasn't proven to be up to, apparently, meeting the challenges that so many people have defined for politics. That's why President Trump is now the future President Trump again, is that people don't think that democracy has delivered for them. And so they want someone else in charge of it to see if it can deliver. That is exactly what America is supposed to do. We're supposed to debate, dissent, decide, and then adjudicate whether we want to continue on a certain course. That's what America did yesterday. It's what America tried to do in 2020, but President Trump tried to interrupt that. My prayer, again, is that that was an exception and not the rule. I'm not fully confident of that. But at this point, the success of a Trump administration, the success of the Congress, is the success of the country. And as a citizen and a father, I want us to thrive. I'm just concerned, and I don't think it's an unreasonable concern, that President Trump thrives less on order than on chaos. And I think that's what we have to watch.
All right, Jon Meacham, thank you for sharing with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.